Hey everyone, it's Stephen Nelson from Cross Bible, and today I'm going to be recapping and debriefing on the SBL conference. It's now been a couple of weeks, and I can finally explain what happened and give you my assessment. Spoiler alert, it's good. It's a good, there's a good outlook on this, but if I would have delivered this address a week ago, the outlook would have been negative. So something happened last week that really turned things around. For the most part, I would say the first thing is that, I have to take responsibility for doing a lot of last minute prep. You're gonna see that I had to go pick up my brochures the day before. A lot of the design work and the sort of new features and things that I managed to pull off at the last minute, a lot of that was really started in, like November 1st. So I felt like once November 1st hit, I really need to get ready for the SBL conference, when in reality, there were a lot of things that could have been commenced on October 1st or even September 1st or July 1st. I don't know. I could have had a lot of things ready in advance that I didn't. And so the deadline kind of creeped up on me. So that's why I'm kind of running around stressed out right before, where a lot of that stress could have been alleviated with better preparation in advance. So that's lesson learned. It's always better to prepare in advance. All right, day one of the travel log, Wednesday, November 19th, and I am driving to pick up the brochures and the bookmarks that I will be giving away at the SBL conference in Boston. I'm printing them literally the day that I leave, so everything is last minute, and we'll see how they turn out. My designer did a great job with these, so I'm not really worried about how they're going to look. I'm mainly just worried about how big the boxes are going to be, because I need to find a way to fit them in my suitcase, or I already have a huge suitcase that's like totally stuffed and super heavy, so maybe I'll have to bring an extra carry-on bag. But I'm flying out tonight, Wednesday night, taking the red eye. I arrive in Boston tomorrow, Thursday morning on the 20th, and as soon as I check into the hotel, I gotta find like a local Target or Best Buy or some place where I can buy or rent a computer monitor. That's the most important thing, because I have to demo this software in my booth. So I need a monitor, and I can't schlep my monitor all the way from Los Angeles to Boston. That's just definitely not going to fit in my suitcase. So that's going to be the main priority for tomorrow, in addition to maybe a couple of poster boards and easels where I can put my posters up for display. And right now I'm just hoping these brochures and bookmarks turn out okay, so we'll see. All right, I'm at the print shop. It's the moment of truth. We're gonna see how these brochures and bookmarks turned out. It is time for the moment of truth. We are going to open our box of newly printed Cross Bible brochures. So we got Scan to Try Cross Bible, and this was not the intended front page. So the intended front page is actually a platform to transform your Bible study, and it was supposed to be a Z fold, but it's turned out to be a C fold. So now they got this on the front, which I guess kind of works. This was supposed to be the back. So yeah, you were supposed to have, yeah, this. So this is the back, right? This is supposed to be the back. The problem is that when you flip it and you see the front, this is not actually the front. So I am going to have to probably take these on the plane and just refold them the right way on the plane. But I don't know, actually. This is, yeah, they're not right. It's not right because this is meant to be the front, right? So a platform to transform Bible study. So you fold it like this, and then you fold it again on itself like that, Z fold, right? So here, I think this is the best compromise, is actually to refold it. I definitely want this to be the front. People will then, yeah, didn't turn. So this is the first thing that didn't turn out right, or at least didn't turn out the way I expected it. But it still looks cool. So we still got the good front. The back is sort of random, and yeah, and the what was intended to be the back with the barcode is just something people are going to have to flip to. So I don't know how many people are going to notice that this was definitely not the intended way that this was supposed to be folded, but I guess we'll still give out a ton of these. I mean, I could keep it folded the way they are and just not bother, and just have this be the front and just having, you know, I guess the scan to try cross Bible. I mean, the back, I just, you know, I don't know. We'll see. But you know what did turn out exactly as intended, which was less difficult, are my Bible bookmarks. So these are actually going to be really cool. These Bible bookmarks are actually, eventually we're going to sell these in the Cross Bible Zelly store. Or no, it'll be what's the name of the platform? Not Zelly. Zazzle. It'll be a Zazzle product. But you can see that this is a bookmark where it has, on the one side, it has the New Testament book groupings, and on the other side, it has the Old Testament book groupings. Now, this is the Protestant version, so, you know, it has the division of Pentateuch, historical, wisdom, poetry, major prophets, minor prophets, so like the standard Protestant division. But we actually are designing these also for Catholics and Orthodox Christians. So this turned out perfect, but this was kind of a no-brainer. This was hard. This was going to be hard to mess up. The brochures, unfortunately, yeah, I need to make a decision. Refold them or just hand them out as is. It's going to take me forever to refold these. I think I'm just going to hand it out as is. Yeah, I think the folding pattern just didn't work out, but whatever. They look great. I guess when I scan them in more detail, I may pick up some other issues, but for the most part, I think it's pretty presentable. So we'll see. I'll give you guys yeah, I think they're good. The other thing is just sort of the timing of all this around Thanksgiving. You know, I had to fly to Boston. It's a long flight and it's expensive to fly at that time. Booking the plane and the hotel and the booth. I mean, it's a big expense. The question is it worth that expense, right? Welcome to Boston. I finally arrived from my red-eye flight. Not too bad, a couple hours sleep, but it seems like it's fairly simple in Boston to get from the airport to the blue line, and now I'm going to transition to the green line and take that to the Heinz Convention Center so I can check into the hotel. However, I am a little confused. I don't think there's actually the escalator is out of order, and I need to get these suitcases upstairs. So yeah, I don't see any, oh wait, there's an elevator. I'm gonna go take the elevator. I'm not gonna schlep this up the stairs if I can help it. Well, my suitcase is now officially broken. Unfortunately, the metro has stairs, and you have to actually climb those stairs to get onto the car, and my suitcase handle broke off when I was trying to get up the stairs, and I tripped and fell, and the suitcase fell, and the doors almost closed on me, and it was quite embarrassing and a little painful. But I survived, and my suitcase unfortunately has not survived, so I don't know. I think I can still fly back with it, but I grabbed it by the wrong handle, that's for sure. I am now settled in the hotel and almost set up with what I need. I got my posters ready to go with the rubber bands. I got my little Cross Bible labels. Got my bookmarks, business cards, brochures, camera kit, laptop, cables and sexy cable management. So everything will be very sleek and clean in the booth. So next step is I got to go down to FedEx, pick up my pop-up banners. Hopefully those are all intact and look good. Fingers crossed for that. And we got to go to Blick, pick up the poster boards to put my Timeline of the Bible poster on, and my Greek pronunciation poster. I got one of those too, so those need to go on easels. So I'm going to try to get that at Blick because I asked at FedEx, and it's going to cost a crazy amount of money for foam boards. They don't really sell those without doing a full-blown print job. And then to Best Buy to get that monitor. So at least so far so good. Stay tuned. Boom. So I kind of got this thing up and running. It's a little crooked. I don't know how to straighten it, and it just falls over. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just doing it wrong, but this thing is like pretty basic. I don't know. It's I'll have to get like a paperweight or something to put on that thing. That's moving on to my runner, which is like a little mini tablecloth. I think I can reveal this one. There we go. Cross Bible. This is gonna look pretty sweet at the edge of my table. I have to say that's a good one. Now moving on to this beast. I'm gonna have to put this one on the floor. Let's see if we can assemble this without it toppling over. All right. If we can.
One eternity later.
That sustained a little damage here, but that's just because the sun's shining through it. So overall, looks pretty good, I have to say. Yeah, not too bad. This one at least stands up on its own. So there we go. That step is complete, and slight small accident, and other than that, we should be good to go. All right, so we have made it to the Best Buy in South Boston, and I need to find myself a monitor. Let's see, we got HP monitors. I guess price tags are a little overwhelming, but I guess just gotta take a look at the return policy here. Let's see. Yeah, I'll check back in when I decide on something. I think I found the winner. Check this baby out. That is an HP Series 5 31.5-inch monitor. It's just the biggest. I'm just gonna get the biggest one. So, walking out with this one, and we will almost be ready for SBL with this. So next stop is Art Supply Blick to get the poster boards for the posters, and hopefully they have some easels I can put those on. All right, now I am at Blick Art Supply, and this is going to be the final thing that I need, is to find the poster boards for the posters and the easel. Oh, I guess those are frames. Let's see. Ah, there we go. Hi. So let's look. Okay, here we go. Got the poster boards right here. So this is going to be perfect. This is everything I need. The choice of venue was a really, really critical one. I can't even say for certain if I chose correctly. So the dilemma is, first of all, if you can afford it, book both. That's what I learned. I should have booked the ETS conference and the SBL conference, right? The Evangelical Theological Society conference is also a place where all of the software companies and publishers tend to book booths. I should have had one too at the ETS conference. I didn't because I couldn't afford it, right? I had to This year I really had to pick one, or at least financially I had to pick one. The thinking that I had was I should stick with the SBL conference because it's later and because people at the ETS conference, or at least the people worth reaching at ETS, are probably going to stay over for the SBL conference, right? And that didn't turn out to be the case. I met a lot of people at ETS who were like, I'm leaving. Now, on the last day, they left. They didn't stay over for the SBL conference. There really was a divide between the ETS crowd that is more, evangelical conservative Christians, and then the flip to the SBL crowd, where there are still lots of evangelical conservative Christians, but there are a lot of, it's more of a scholarly liberal crowd, right? Which crowd is a better target market for Cross Bible? I would like to have everybody on the platform, right? But it really boils down to a lot of people advising me, you should have booked ETS. Yeah, I guess hindsight's 20/20. I don't know if I should have booked ETS. Next year, I hope to be able to afford to book both, and maybe it'll be in Colorado, the Colorado Convention Center. So maybe next year I could actually see, I could measure the two and see which one yields more leads. So right now I'm in the Marriott, and this is the ETS conference, the Evangelical Theological Society conference. So this conference happens right before the Society of Biblical Literature conference, SBL, and typically you get more or less the same crowd, but the SBL crowd is probably a bit more liberal, like they're like more scholarly. This is more of the evangelical crowd. So the ETS conference runs for like 3 days. So like today I think is the second day. I think it started, so it started yesterday I think, and then today's the second day, tomorrow's the last day, and then it switches to the SBL conference. So you can see basically on every single floor of the Marriott, you have people just hanging out, meeting. There's some people that I know that I've already said hi to, and then you get various exhibits that I'll kind of walk you through. So you got Crossway over here outside of the showroom. So I'll take you over to see Crossway's exhibit. Crossway is an official partner because they license the ESV to us, so that's great. You got New Testament Theology series here, there, that booth. Got ESV commentary sold over here, and then I can't take you through the showroom of the ETS conference because I did not actually sign up for this conference, unfortunately. Next year, I'll definitely have to do both, but this is the entrance to their showroom. So their showroom's back there, and that is the ETS conference in a nutshell. Wish I could attend both. Unfortunately, the budget only allowed me to attend SBL, and the budget doesn't even allow me to do that because I'm already way over budget with all the stuff that they threw at me at the last minute, or that basically life threw at me at the last minute. But we're hanging in there, just bringing you along for the ride. So this is the ETS conference. All right, we are back, and we have all of our goals accomplished. I have the 2 poster boards. I got 2 floor easels, 1, 2, and I got my HP series monitor, and all we have left to do is ensure that when we hook everything up, it all works. And I got these clips to clip the poster boards. I don't know, I guess I should set everything up tonight and just make sure it all works and looks good, and I think we're ready to set up tomorrow. Oh, and I gotta fix that pop-up banner. I don't know, I think I need to glue that thing down. So that's it. Oh, and a mouse pad. I need a mouse pad. Where am I gonna get a mouse pad? Okay, gotta figure that out. I'm sure I can just find a mouse pad anywhere. No problem. All right, that is day 1 in Boston, mission accomplished. Well, most missions accomplished. All right, today is Friday, November 21st, and this is the prep day for SBL conference, and I am currently steaming my runner because it is very wrinkled and this feels like the right thing to do. I am still fighting a certain baseline level of anxiety of all of the things that I'm going to be dealing with in the next few days, which probably isn't actually going to be that bad, but you never know. I don't know. I'm just sort of trying to go over my head all the things that could possibly go wrong and what I could possibly do to prevent them from going wrong. And I don't know. I'd like to say that I have an overall good feeling, but I guess I'm just, a little worried. But all I can do right now is focus on ironing out or steaming out these wrinkles. I think if I just keep that mentality of like focusing on exactly what's in front of me, maybe I won't be so overwhelmed by all the things that could possibly go wrong or creep up. But this morning I was having breakfast and next to Bart Ehrman, so I went and said hi to Bart Ehrman and told him about Cross Bible. I think the good thing is that because I have a booth, it sort of legitimizes me a little bit, so I can tell people, hey, like I don't need to deliver a pitch to give them all the details right away, because I can just tell them, hey, come see me at my booth, right? So, and if I can, accost people in a public place in advance, then it sort of lightens my load at the booth. So if they do come to the booth, I don't necessarily have to give them the full spiel because I've already told them about it. I've already piqued their interest during breakfast. So that's the good part. But I managed to pack everything into my suitcase. Some of it's hanging out of the suitcase, like the pop-up banners hanging out of the suitcase, and the easels are hanging out of the suitcase. But I can drag the suitcase along with the box with my monitor and the poster boards. It's a short walk. I'm staying at the Sheraton, so that was the point, that I would be close and I could walk to the Heinz Convention Center. So that is the plan. Walk over there and see if the setup is going to be smooth. I did get an email yesterday from the venue that was probably sent to like everybody saying, if you haven't invested in carpet, whoever is like running the event is basically forcing everybody to get carpet. So like they're trying to make last minute carpet sales, and the carpet's like $400 something. It's crazy. I don't want to pay for carpet. I want concrete on my booth, specifically because it doesn't look good. Because I don't want to misrepresent Cross Bible as being like this, big organization that has the resources to invest in carpet. I don't want to buy a carpet. But they seem to be forcing people to put just something on the floor. So I don't know if I can go and find a place that sells like carpet tile or something to just put something in last minute so it looks decent, or just literally bring towels from my hotel and put towels on the floor as like an act of protest and just be like, see, I put something on the floor. I guess I'm just going to see how aggressive they are at enforcing this thing. These wrinkles, by the way, are just like not coming out from the steamer. I'm afraid, I don't know exactly like what material this is. Acrylic, like if I put an iron to this, is it gonna like, like my fear is that I put the iron down on it and it's like, it just destroys the whole thing. It seems like steam is the safer route, but like, man, the steam is just like not working on these wrinkles. But when I'm done, I assume I can just sort of carefully roll it up and keep it from wrinkling again. You know what, I can just bring this thing to my booth. It's just, I'm not going to take the ironing board to my booth, so I could probably just steam it right there on the table. So I'll do my best to steam it here, and then we will go to the exhibition or the showroom floor and see what we're able to accomplish in terms of getting the booth spiffed up. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to go get some flowers or something to make it look a little bit nicer and more colorful. So I'll see you all over there. I have made it to the exhibit room floor. It's a very nice facility. So you can see very high ceilings, and it's it's not the section that's closest to the entrance, so that threw me off. I was like wandering around looking for my booth for a while, and then I realized that there's like a whole other half. So I'll take you around to this half. So we are on aisle 800. This is just people setting up right now, so this isn't how it's going to look, but we're right next to Biblingo. Do sign up for Biblingo. CrossBible10 is the promo code to get 10% off. They are an affiliate, and you can see, ta-da! Here is the Cross Bible booth, 812. So I got my very expensive electricity and internet, and I schlepped my my suitcase full of everything that I needed in my monitor. It was I've gotten my workout for the day, let's just say that. I am very sweaty. I was out of breath for a little while because I'm out of shape. And yeah, this is it. I got to iron the wrinkles out of that skirt, and very minimal, very nice. Obviously, you know, the question is, can I get away with not having a carpet? Because they emailed me and said I got to have a carpet, so I guess Exhibitor Services is over there. They're going to maybe shut me down if I don't have a carpet. I think it looks fine. I mean, yeah, I may be one of the only people that doesn't have a carpet, but you know, we're a small organization, so let's get everything set up. The drawbacks are what they are, right? It was just costly, and there were all these hidden costs, right? So there were these costs that popped up, like I decided I was going to give out free waters to everybody, and I brought like a case of waters. That got shut down, and then I had to provide waters I had to buy waters from the venue. They wouldn't let me give out so my waters became contraband because they were, you know, inexpensive, and then I was forced to buy expensive, like really seriously overpriced waters. But I did because it was a great strategy to offer people water, have them accept if they're thirsty. They stop by my booth just to drink the water, and then I can say, do you want a bookmark? You know, I had these cool bookmarks. Or do you want a brochure? So like I had the brochures, I had the bookmarks. I was able to give these away after people stopped to drink water. So the water was key, but the water was, you know, I blew my budget on the water. I had no budget for the carpet. I was forced the day of to buy carpet, and luckily, Biblingo, my friends at Biblingo, I'm rocking my Biblingo shirt because I am indebted to Biblingo for supporting me, for helping. They provided carpet tile when I was being forced to either buy really expensive carpet or rent very expensive carpet from the venue, or go out into Boston and find carpet. I was determined to go out into Boston somewhere and find carpet or carpet tiles. And the guys at Biblingo, who had a booth right next to mine, already had carpet. They were going to put carpet tile on top of their carpet, but when they saw that I was in need, Kevin Grosso, thank you so much, Kevin. He pulled through. So definitely subscribe to Biblingo. Use the promo code CrossBible10, get a 10% discount. That helps us because we're affiliates, so we get a commission from that. And learn Greek and Hebrew on Biblingo. You know, Biblingo is a great tool, so I recommend it to even people that I'm teaching actively. Hey, so things escalated pretty quickly with the exhibition. They started really getting on my case about not having carpet. So take a look. What I got is, well, this is the original concrete, and then this are these nice carpet tiles that I got thanks to my friends over at Biblingo next door. So definitely make sure you sign up for Biblingo. Use the promo code CrossBible10 to get a 10% discount on Biblingo, because if it weren't for them basically gifting me, I mean, I'm gonna figure out a way to pay them back, but they pulled through, and they just had extra because they were gonna put it down. They were gonna put these carpet tiles down on top of their carpet, but that's their booth over there, and you can see they already have carpet. So they were kind of like, you know, I think they were hoping to have something nicer, and this is nicer. So they gave me their nicer carpet, which is amazing. So thank you to my friends Kevin and Nick. Nick's not going to be here, but thank you to everybody at Biblingo for your support, for being an affiliate of Cross Bible, and wow, I'm just super grateful. I'm almost done. I'm kind of schwitzing right now. I gotta put these edge pieces on, but you can see it's a nice carpet that I have now in my booth. Let me give you a picture of it. So got there is our booth. We got okay. So we got the monitor, we got my computer set up, got our brochures, have the posters in the corner, and my sign. So I'll give you a back up. Let's get a better shot of this.
Oh, great. Okay.
All right.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Sorry for.
So yeah, there we go. So still a few kinks in the cable management. Let's take a look under, pop open the hood right here. So we got my cable management box. Look at all of that mess. So it's nicely concealed in my box with my cable concealers here and here. Got my stress ball for my stress. Got my mouse. I don't really need a mouse pad. This works pretty well. And I got my steamer from the hotel that's currently holding up my tabletop sign that can't hold itself up to steam the skirt, the table skirt, and the runner, and then I'm pretty much all set. Geez, what time is it? It is, I started this at like 10 a.m. and it's 3:15. So yeah, this has been pretty, yeah, 5-6 hours been doing this. So almost done. Just got to lay down a few more tiles, and there we go. That's it. That's all I have left, and I'm done. Competition's pretty stiff, right? This is really like David versus Goliath, right? I don't have the budget that some of these other big Bible software companies have to rent a very elaborate booth. And now that I know the pricing of all of the things that you have to pay for to have a nice decked out booth, I know the sort of marketing budget that some of these bigger companies are able to afford at these venues. And I'm pretty far from being able to afford that. If I had that kind of money to afford the kind of booth that they had, I'd put it in the product, right? I would just be giving that value to my customers. But I guess there is obviously some value in having a marketing expense where you can reach your customers, but my customers were definitely not reaching me in that venue. There were about a dozen people who came to my booth and heard my my demo, who really liked Cross Bible, and I could tell. It's just written on their faces, you know. Then that was really the value, was customer reconnaissance, right? I was able to actually connect with people who were looking at the monitor, seeing what I'm showing them, and their eyes are lit up, and you can tell that it resonates, it clicks, right? They're like, wow, this is amazing. There just weren't that many of those people that I was able to reach. But I have a feeling like there were plenty of other people like that on the other side. If maybe a dozen potential customers where I have product market fit, if those customers came all the way to the 800 row to see my booth, which is kind of like around the corner, I mean, it was off the beaten path, right? So if there were a dozen people who I needed to reach there that I did reach because they reached me, there were probably dozens of other people on the other side who never reached me. So that's being optimistic, is that yes, there is definitely a target market. I identified that target market, and this was the positive, is I was actually able to engage with my customers face to face and see who it works for and who it doesn't work for. And this was the surprising thing in terms of demographic. Young women tended to be my best customers, right? The people who really get it, who are like, wow, this is amazing, because they like the aesthetic, they like the ease of use. A lot of them were college students. There was one person who was really enthusiastic who mentioned Cross Bible is a platform that could be used by elementary school students, right? Like, people really appreciated how easy and simple it is. Now, on the flip side, I also identified the people who are not the target customer, right? People who are married to their desktop Bible software, who have invested thousands of dollars in their libraries, who are very particular about the kind of search functionality that they want, that Cross Bible will eventually evolve to provide, right? Like, we're going to get all of that into the platform eventually. But for now, our strength, where we can compete, is in ease of use, right? Is user friendliness. And so I could tell who was at my booth and watching my demo, who appreciated that, who could see, yes, this is really easy to use. And then the people who didn't, who were like, well, I've spent, I can put myself in their shoes, right? I've spent a decade using this platform that has 100 different buttons, and I know where all the buttons are, and I know everything they do. And I've reached a certain age where, like, I don't want to learn anything new, right? So it's really just kind of like the dichotomy between the Apple user and the PC user, right? The prototypical, like, PC user never wants to use a Mac because they're just used to Windows, right? And so I felt like that's kind of what I was encountering there. But it was amazing to meet the people who really, really get it. The people whose eyes lit up and who said, this is awesome. Thank you to everybody, if you're watching this, who came by my booth and gave me positive feedback. A lot of people gave me positive feedback and just acknowledged that, well, I'm still going to use my Bible software, but this is great. Day one of SBL is now wrapped up. I had the brilliant plan yesterday that I was going to bring some waters and give people waters during SBL because I was so thirsty yesterday. I figured it would be a nice treat, and that got shut down by the venue, so I had to buy waters from the venue, but they were expensive, but I think it was a nice gesture to give people waters at the booth. So there's the booth. Wrapping up. Did not sell any posters. I don't think I'm going to sell any posters. I mean, it's difficult to convince people to take posters in there, unless I sell them with the tube, but then that increased the cost. So people can't probably get them in their suitcase and transport them home in a way that would preserve them. They'll probably get all bent out of shape. I'll actually take you through the showroom a little bit. So my booth is a little further away. There's Accordance Bible software. So my booth is a little further away from the entrance, so you can see some of this. So it's roughly divided in half, this whole place. So I'm in the row 600. See, 600, 700. What is it? Yeah, 6, 700, 800. Those are the rows. So I'm booth 812 in row 800. And then rows like 100 to 500 are all on this side, and this one's pretty massive. So this is where I guess all of the people, these are probably the more expensive booths that have good location. So you can see here, I'll give you a little turnaround. And then when you get to the end here, you have the area where people are actually consuming food, which I did not actually do today. So that is the SBL conference. And I just had breakfast and I expected to tough it out until dinner. And then I eventually was really close to crashing and I got a Cliffs bar. So that held me over. Super exhausted. I was standing the whole time because it's like just easier than when you're sitting down. It's easier to flag people, and non-stop talking all day. Voice is a little weak, but I think it'll hold up for tomorrow. And that's it. Day one is done. I gave away a good amount of brochures and business cards and bookmarks, and got to demo the software and tell people about it. And I think it was good. I'd love to stay around a little longer, but I'm just kind of dead. So we'll check back in on day two and see how that goes. There were three main positive things to come out of it. First of all, Biblingo saving the day. Second of all, I met Emmanuel Tove at the event. And when I saw him walking down the hall, I immediately like dropped everything. I had these suitcases, and I went over to him and I said, like, I introduced myself, said I was an admirer of his work, and that I have this Bible website, Cross Bible, and I told him about it. And when I told him that I was interested in using his Septuagint data from the CCAT library, he immediately pulled me aside and we had a long talk about it. Not to give anything away because I still have to figure out a way to implement this into Cross Bible, but I'm hoping to get the increase our support for the Septuagint. The coolest thing that happened, which is really like the highlight of the whole time there, and probably just of my whole life, really, is like a lifetime achievement, was getting not only a seal of approval from Emmanuel Tove on my Bible timeline, but he actually offered to take a PDF. He asked me for a PDF of the Bible timeline, the Old Testament portion, because he needs an illustration for the book he's writing, and he would like to include my illustration and credit me for it, of my timeline of the Hebrew Bible text types, the Septuagint, and the Proto-Masoretic text. So that's amazing. I'm going to get we'll see. I have to format it, submit it to him. Well, I hope I can make an announcement on that soon. I don't know how close he is to finishing this book. I don't even know what the book's called, so we'll see about that. Day 2 of the SBL conference. I finally got a decent night's sleep, but I'm a little late. I think it's like 8:05. I probably should have been there a little earlier, but just recapping yesterday in my mind, trying to figure out how I can do better. I think the main thing is I need to keep remembering to tell people that there's a promo code so that they can get 1 month off. I don't know how much of a difference that's going to make. Clearly, selling posters at SBL is not a thing, so that's not happening. I don't know. I guess I could be surprised by a few sales today, but I was hoping that was going to maybe help offset some of this cost. But that's people aren't here to buy random posters unless this poster were a collector's item or if it had some notoriety. But the coolest thing that happened from day one is probably going to make the whole conference worth it, just from a pure just on the basis of prestige, is that I had a conversation yesterday with Emmanuel Tove about Cross Bible and about what we want to do to support the Septuagint on the platform, and he's not really interested in becoming a consultant for us. He's just kind of not, he's like doesn't need money. But the cool thing is that he looked at my poster and was like, he said, this could be really helpful for a book that I'm writing, and if you could give me a PDF of just the Old Testament portion of your poster, I will include it as an illustration in my book and put your name in it and give you credit for it, put Cross Bible on it. So that's cool. That's probably the biggest honor I could possibly achieve with very minimal effort. I mean, obviously a lot of effort, but still. Wow. That is, I'm still kind of reeling over that and thinking, okay, well now I need to sort of redesign the timeline so that it will fit well. I need to figure out what the size of the page he needs to get that on. But yeah, that could probably make the whole concert worthwhile, not in financial terms, obviously, but just in terms of the accomplishment that would be to get to provide an illustration for one of Emmanuel Tove's scholarly monographs. That's something I could brag about. So other than that, a lot of people came up. I mean, I was constantly demoing and talking, and I just don't know. One of the people that came up who was very interested and had a lot of great feedback and was clearly very knowledgeable. He was an older gentleman who gave me a really good bit of advice and was just like, I think you should be talking to people who are much, much younger than me, because even though this all looks really cool to me, for somebody my age, it also seems a little overwhelming because, you know, we're all used to the sort of the systems that we use, and I'm trying to learn like Photoshop, and it's a real pain. And just the idea of learning some new Bible software, even if it's really cool, even if it's, you know, quote unquote user friendly, it seems that it's going to be a tough sell for people who are older and who are used to, you know, whatever software they use, to then adopt something new. So that's the biggest challenge that he thinks I'm going to have selling to the older crowd, and he thinks I should just target a younger crowd that's a bit more technically adept and, you know, comfortable learning new things. So that's his feedback. And well, I guess I'm not late at all. There's nobody here. So yeah, today I'm going to set up. I'm going to try to remember to encourage people to use the promo code, and you know, we'll see. We'll see if day 2 is any different, and maybe there will be some other cool people that'll come to my booth and express interest. I definitely need to make sure I only offer the sanctioned water, and that's it. Update you guys later. The other thing is just the layout of the venue is really problematic. I initially reviewed the map when I booked my booth, and can't really see it too well, but basically there's 2 entrances, and it isn't really clear when you just look at the map if you don't know the convention center already. So I guess I should have just scouted this, or I don't know, consulted somebody, is that everybody comes in from this side and goes into the convention center, and this is the main area. Then there's a huge dividing wall, and then there's this area right here, which is rows 600 to 800, which is where I was right here. Now, it was really difficult to get people all the way to my booth. I had people coming by on the last day, surprised that resonated with the product, resonated with Cross Bible, and were like, I didn't even know this about this section until now. So that was a big problem. Hello, and welcome to the final day of the SBL conference. We are currently in the process of wrapping up, and I just wanted to give you guys a sense of the experience when you first come in to the showroom. So I'm going to turn this around and let you see why the placement of our booth was so critical and why it was such an epic fail. So watch this. So imagine you're coming in, you've come through you've approached the first in the main entrance to the showroom, right? To the exhibition area. So when you come in from the entrance, right? And you come into the main hall like this, right? So you're gonna first see SBL Press, obviously, and just all of the different places that are available to you from the entrance, right? So you see this, you see this, you see this whole hall, and for some reason, the venue chose to put the, I guess, concession area where people can actually eat all the way over here. Now, my theory, I don't know why they did that, but my theory is that if they would have simply allowed this to be the other half of the exhibition area, then people would have actually found us much easier, because as is, if you look, there is a huge dividing wall right there. And in order for them to get to the higher rows, row 500, 600, 700, and 800 where we are, people need to be able to notice, first of all, yeah, there's no sign, like, okay, so here's the sign. This is the sign. This is the one indication that, you know, people should keep exploring, and you see it's an afterthought, right? Somebody posted that there because people don't know that they have to go all the way there to find us. So that is clearly the problem, right? That is the main problem. And I don't know what, hindsight's 2020, right? Like, now that I have experience doing this, I know that next year at the Denver Convention Center, it is going to be critical to book early, pay attention to the floor plan, find where the main entrance is, and ensure that you are in a place where you can be accessed by the people who are coming in the main entrance. And also, obviously, if I were in a better position where I would get a lot more foot traffic, the additional concern is then, do I have people who can handle that bandwidth, right? Like, it would be obviously a better setup in that scenario to have people helping me, right? Which I don't have anybody else at this stage. So that's it. It's a wrap. Lessons learned, hard lessons learned, but we did get a lot of interest and a lot of people in our booth. So could have probably gotten more, but I think it was overall a success. We'll see. So I guess the main benefit was just the validation, right? It was the validation of establishing Cross Bible on par with all of the other companies that were exhibiting at SBL, finding my target customers, or at least allowing my target customers to find me, and identifying who it is for and who it is not for, right? That was key. That was really, I don't know if that would make it worth the whole expense, but it definitely contributed. By the end of the whole thing, and I think in the week following SBL, because I wasn't really seeing any clear results, and also because Google, my Google Analytics was disconnected the whole time I was there, so I didn't even see. I thought the usage on the website was flatlining, and it was wrong. It was actually spiking, and I couldn't see it. But that was a technical difficulty. So what happened was, a few days after the event, J.M. Smith, who did an amazing job filming my demo and then putting it on the Disciple Dojo YouTube channel, he released that video a week ago. And since releasing that video, it has nearly 6,000 views, lots of positive comments, and really that immediately changed everything. So if it weren't for JM and it weren't for Disciple Dojo's feature, I don't know if it would have been worth it, right? Just because of the booth placement, like and the thing is, like, even if my booth were like right by the entrance, I was exhausted, right? Like, I was still getting bombarded by a lot of people. I just had a lot of downtime in between demos. And, there were times where I would sit there for half an hour and just watch people walking by, because people were there to like shop for books for the most part, right? There are a lot of people that just aren't there to demo Bible software. They're not interested. Sometimes I was able to hook people with the water and then get them interested. But if I were by myself near the entrance, I don't know if I really would have had the bandwidth to make that kind of an impact. Like, if I would have just been bombarded by people, like, I probably would need a staff member, like someone to help me, somebody else who could demo the software, or a setup like some of the other Bible software companies had, like, tables with computers that people could sit down with and people to guide them through. I just don't have any of that. I'm just by myself, right? In one sense, my placement was good because it allowed me to kind of demo at a decent pace and not be overwhelmed by people. But still, I would prefer to at least be more visible, even without the level of exposure that I needed at the event. I got the exposure through the generosity of my friend at Bible Dojo. So that was amazing. I don't know, in hindsight, yes, I could have just asked JM to bring me on and done like a guest spot on Disciple Dojo and gotten the same level of exposure. But the fact that I was actually at SBL doing a demo on camera in that environment, I think in general, that's a better look than just doing a podcast or whatever.
Guys, this is round 2. So Steven and we did this spiel last night, and my camera battery died. But it was good because it was a practice run. He was actually telling me about the new stuff that Cross Bible has. So first of all, watch the video where I looked at the cross Bible resources and did a episode all about it, and it's free Bible study software. So what they've introduced now, so you have the free version, which has all the tools that we looked at. There's some new translations that you've added, is that right?
Yeah, so on the free version, you can see that like right now I'm stacking 3 different versions. So here I have the NIV, compared against the NRSV, compared against the ESV Catholic Edition. So we have, I think some of those are new since you last did your video. We have more in the pipeline. So the NLT Catholic Edition is in the pipeline. The Message is in the pipeline.
Okay.
Those just need to be processed. We'll probably have those out by the end of the year or at the latest early next year.
Yeah.
All free, right? So
I didn't know there was an NLT Catholic Edition or an ESV Catholic Edition. So that would just be the regular translation and then the Deuterocanonical.
Yeah.
I know with the RSV Catholic Edition, they made a few little tweaks to the RSV. Do you know if they've done that?
My understanding is that the Protestant canon is untouched.
Okay.
It's the exact same, and it's just the only differences are the fact that they've included the Deuterocanonical books.
Okay.
So our NRSV updated edition also includes Deuterocanonical books. We're aiming to increase our coverage, so we're going to bring in more data from the Septuagint, so you can actually compare the Deuterocanonical books to their originals. So a lot of that, if you're using it and you're like, I really wish they had this resource, I'll give you a link to the Patreon, because we do receive user feedback on Patreon, either people reporting bugs to us so we fix them, or asking us like, hey, could you get this new resource, could you look into this translation, could you build something for us, and most of this is free. Like we cover the cost for thousands of people to engage in the Bible worldwide. That was our mission from the get-go. Increase Bible engagement.
Which is the thing Disciple Dojo loves about Cross Bible is they're wanting to put a ton of completely free access to translations, to be able to compare Bible translations. It's just that in and of itself, but then also they're adding in resources, a little bit of original language stuff, or at least other non-English translations, and everything is free, but they have a paid option. So real quick, tell them about the paid option.
Yeah, so the idea is that the paid option is for people who can afford it, who would like to come alongside us and support us. Effectively, what you're doing is you're supporting the free use. You're allowing thousands of people around the world to access the Bible on our platform for free, but you have some additional benefits for having a paid account. Those benefits are increasing constantly.
And the paid is we're not talking like $50 a month. Like, what are we talking?
We're talking $5 a month to unlock most of the features.
$5 a month. So that's a cup of coffee. That's 3 candy bars a month. And so give a quick, just a synopsis of for $5 a month, what would somebody be able to access?
So starting with the free version, what you see here is like you have the 3 versions in your columns, right? You can hit the button to flip. You already covered that in your review. We had that out of the gate, right? Now, if you sign up, you can sign up for a free account that's going to give you access to certain customizations, because if you'll notice, what you see here is sort of these default colors, and I'm switching dark mode. We have dark mode support now. So
yes, guys, you know I love dark mode because I don't like big white glare on my face when I'm filming.
So we have dark mode, we have light mode, but what you see over here is you'll see a slightly bigger font, and you'll see this sepia theme. So now that I'm logged into my account, you can see this is my account and this is the billing where you can subscribe. We actually have this new study panel. Now, the first thing you can see in the study panel is that in the settings, I'm able to set my default Bible. So like I personally like to have the NRSV updated edition as my default. If you are not registered for free, then the NIV will be your default, and that's fine, but you can just change it. I also have my custom Bible version, so these are the Bibles that I want in my menu. We have other versions, like we have the Korean Bible. I don't know Korean, I don't need it in my menu, right? But some people would want that. We have now here getting into the sort of the premium features, because we are trying to increase Bible engagement, not simply Bible access. The key to engagement here are these custom categories. So I've made up some categories for these for demos like these, where I have a theological category, I have a daily verse category, and then down here are more custom features like the font size and all of this stuff. So here are the themes. I can go dark mode, I can go sepia. I'm gonna demo this in the sepia theme because that's my favorite. So these categories can be applied to my bookmarks, and my highlights. And they're all stored in this nice little panel, and when I'm done with them, I can just hide it and keep reading what I'm looking at. Now, if I want to highlight, you know, I can drop the highlight here. God would reckon righteousness to the Gentiles, right? And I can have the highlight applied there. Takes a little minute, takes a little second. Oh, boom. Okay, so there's my highlight, right? So now when I go back into my side panel, I can see the highlight.
Sort
there.
by highlight color.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And then also, so my bookmarks are also going to use these exact same categories, right? And then I can configure them here. Now, one of the cool things is obviously I can add a note here, so I take my personal notes and I can save that. And this is all private, by the way. Like nobody else sees your notes.
Right.
Like,
it's key to your account. So
your account. And not only can I, you know, I can make this verse is already primary. I can copy. So, like for example, if I want a configuration where I have the NRSV on top of a Greek version, right? Take my side panel away. So here I have the NRSV side by side with the Orthodox Bible. Now, if I flip this, I can then take this button here, I can copy it, and I can post this to Facebook, for example, or text it to a friend, and it's going to share this exact configuration. So you're not just sharing a Bible verse with someone, you're sharing this whole, like, you know,
whichever translations you've chosen.
In whichever orientation you've chosen, with a backlink to Cross Bible that'll give somebody a view of what you're seeing here. So
very nice.
All of these, so we have a dashboard for the premium subscription that gives you just sort of like an air traffic control, high-level view of all your bookmarks and your notes and your highlights. We're going to add delete buttons here, so you're going to be able to go through and like mass delete things if you want to start from scratch or just like clean things up a little bit. And so here I can see, I was in Galatians 3:8. I made a highlight related to church. I can jump right into it, right? And I made that and then boom, it's going to apply my theme, right? Because this is my customization. So those three aspects are the real engaging factors that you're getting for the subscription: the notes, the bookmarks, the highlights. So you're really leaving breadcrumbs throughout your entire Bible study experience. In addition to that, the footnotes are available not only in the footer, right? So you don't necessarily need to scroll down and scroll all the way back up to see the footnotes. You can actually access them in the side panel, right? And we're not looking at a Bible that has footnotes, but the NRSV has great footnotes, and those are going to be available in the side panel. When I load the NRSV, boom, there they are. So I can see them on the level. I can line up verse 12 with the footnote for verse 12, and then I can click on them and jump to them. Now the cross-references do the same thing, and the cool thing about cross-references is you can stay anchored in the text that you're reading. So if I'm reading Galatians 3, and I get to a part where Paul is quoting Deuteronomy, what I want to do is click on the cross-reference, see Deuteronomy, jump to it. Okay, Paul quoted that. The next phase of this is you're going to be able to actually pull up the Septuagint and see what Paul actually quoted, but this is showing you the NRSV. But once I'm done with the cross-reference, I'm still reading Paul, right? I didn't jump to a hyperlink and go down some rabbit hole and start reading Deuteronomy. I can if I want to, but generally what I want to do is see the cross-reference, push it aside, and just keep reading Galatians now that I get what Paul's trying to call my attention to.
So it's like having, you know, you're looking at one book, you just want to catch a reference. You don't want to open up a whole book. You don't want to. You're rooted where you are. And some programs, some digital versions, you have to do that, or it's cumbersome at least. So that's a very ease of use. This is the paid version. There's the free version, which can do a lot of stuff, but the customization that you get in Cross Bible that's what the $5 a month is. And again, that subscribers help other people get access to the free versions, that's why we've been friends of Cross Bible, because of how much they make available. And Stephen here came up at 2 SBLs ago
with a billboard.
And we started talking, and and he's produced a very cool Emmanuel Tove endorsed, or at least thumbed up, right? He said it was for the most part this portion of the manuscript history and the different manuscripts all the way up to modern translations. This poster is available at Cross Bible, and they're available digitally.
So if
as
you
well
look
as
on the website, this is also going to be part of the $5 tier that you subscribe
Yeah.
to. So that unlocks the digital version of this that lets you zoom in and out, navigate it, and every single thing you see here, you can click on and get new information. So if I want to know, like, what is minuscule 461? Well, you can see it's, Uspensky Gospels, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
you can see the notes for everything. Like, I've meticulously added a note to every single thing you see here, just to give people a sense of like what's behind those little codes in your apparatus.
Right. So when you're using the NA28 or any of those, and you just see unless you're a super nerd, which Trent, you're a super nerd. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Trent would know by heart. You know the manuscripts by heart.
A little bit of them.
You know, for those of us normal people, not Trent. So being able to have some background, like what. It's helpful to weigh manuscript evidence, at least to know an idea of where did this manuscript come from or originate from, or what family is it part of, or New Testament text critical nerds can have fun with that. That's outside of my wheelhouse.
Well, and the pilot, so we have a textual apparatus that's integrated into the study tools right now. This is the SBL apparatus. So the thing to note about the SBL apparatus is minimal. This is your entry point into textual criticism. It's our first apparatus. We'll hopefully be licensing more apparatuses. But the thing to note about this is that it's really pointing at critical editions. It's not pointing at like papyrus, right? But when you drill into it, what we've done is we've parsed out this apparatus. So typically it looks like this. It's a little black boxy, right? If you don't know Greek and you don't know what WH and RP are, you're kind of clueless. But what we've done is we've actually like kind of parsed out these entries and made them a bit more human readable. The next phase will be to actually translate the textual variants into English and other languages. So you people who don't know Greek can actually use the apparatus. And the cool thing is that if I want to fact check this apparatus, I want to see what WH, what Westcott Hort actually says, I can click on it and open it up, and it will add Westcott Hort onto the reader, and then I can sort of embed it here, and I can keep going. So I can basically not only just verify, oh, the apparatus says that this edition says this, I can actually pull that edition up in the reader. And we have recently integrated Thayer's lexicon into the New Testament. It's not like one of those things where you hover over a word and it's just popping up definitions. It's in the side panel, so you can see on a verse by verse basis. If I'm looking at verse 15, I'm going to scroll to verse 15, line them up. I'm going to go into Thayer's lexicon, and here you see every single word in the dictionary form. Open up the entry, read it. It's a step above, the Strong's Concordance glosses. It's a little dated, I have to admit, disclaimer, Thayer's lexicon is not the latest and greatest. BDAG is the latest and greatest. We're working on BDAG. This is just the first version. So we have Thayer's for the New Testament, BDB lexicon for the Old Testament, where we have the Hebrew Masoretic text. We're going to be ramping up our support for the Septuagint. Lots of resources are coming for the Septuagint. Just stay tuned. And again, free usage is just fine. We really encourage people to get in. Just dip your toe in the water with the free version. But registration is 100% free, and that's like your lifetime free trial, just to start getting access to the customizations. And then if you can afford to support us with the $5 a month tier, you can unlock all of this cool stuff. I've been sitting here doing Bible study all day, just getting interrupted by people like you asking me questions. It's really like I finally, managed to get the platform to a point where I don't need to fire up all these other platforms to do all the things I needed to do. Cross Bible's all doing it for me right now.
So guys, we've reviewed Cross Bible. I'll link that video in the description. Check that review out. For me as a first-time user, just poking around in it, and then this is the stuff that they've done in those 2 years since, added to it, continuing to grow, students just hustling and making it happen, and it's a slow build. But it's kind of like Disciple Dojo. We started me filming on my phone in my living room, and it's just a slow build to what we're doing. So,
and the promo code SBL 2025. This was really intended for just the SBL attendees, but I think your audience is an extension of the SBL attendees.
Right. That's why you guys watch these behind the scenes, so you get a little promo code if you want to check out.
I think I set it to expire after this week. So I don't know when you're going to post it, but
a little bit later.
Okay. I might give you a special.
Give it one more week, and I can get this video up.
If you try it and you've seen the video too late and you haven't gotten access to it, I will be in communication with Disciple Dojo, and we'll get Disciple Dojo a promo code that'll give you a month free.
We're friends of Cross Bible, they're friends with us, and so collaboration is the way to go. It's really cool though. Those of you looking, you can't afford, or you're intimidated by like jumping into Logos or jumping into Accordance, it's a steeper learning curve. This is an option. Start here, see if you like it, and if you do, $5 a month. Like, you're basically buy Stephen a cup of coffee a month, and you get access to all this. That's a great way to think of it. So, Anyway,
thank you very
thank
much.
you, sir.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a great rest of the day,
All right, God
and
bless.
yeah, good to see you, brother.
The fact that I had the booth, the presentation, the fact that I was demoing over and over and over again and really perfecting my demo. The first day he recorded, and then he had to redo it the second day, and the second day's demo was much better than the first day's demo. I was kind of just rambling, and it took me a little while to settle into it and get my demo to where it was like really systematic. By the end, I was actually just sitting there engaged in Bible study. I was just like using Cross Bible as a user, flagging bugs, making bug reports, and then people would stop by and I would just sort of show them what I was working on so they could see it in action, right? And that's the whole point, right? Is that like ultimately I want to be able to benefit from the platform for my own Bible study, and it should be a benefit to everybody else. Now, I really by myself could not have done a lot of this. Like, I have to thank my team, my designers, my web developers, like everybody who contributed to this, who pulled through and met the last minute deadlines to get everything done for SBL. My friends at Biblingo, please sign up for them. Again, promo code CrossBible10. Sign up for Biblingo. Make sure you're subscribed to the Disciple Dojo YouTube channel and support JM. Like, I think he has a donation page that he links to from his YouTube channel. Please donate to his ministry. As a result of that video getting close to 6,000 views, I am pleased to announce that we now have a massive spike in our traffic to Cross Bible. We have, the results has been thousands of people flooding into the site. And everything's running smoothly. Hundreds of people have signed up. Thank you so much. So tons of people are subscribing, and really it's just the word of mouth is really paying off, and it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. Thank you so much to everybody who helped make this possible, because everyone played a role in lifting me up and just helping make this possible. Thank you to everybody who's on Patreon. Thank you to all my subscribers. Please make sure you get on Discord and let me know if something isn't working. The biggest pressure right now on me is just to make sure that for the rest of the year and forever, the site is running smoothly and that it is providing the value that the subscribers are actually paying for, right? Because I have a lot of customers now. So my dedication right now is to those customers, to the platform, making sure that I gather all the feedback I can, convey it to my team, and orchestrate getting the platform fixed if anything's wrong, and just continuing to improve, continuing to provide value. A lot of people are asking about the NLT. I know this is a really popular Bible. We have a dozen Bibles in the pipeline right now that we need to process to get up and running, and the NLT is first in line. So if you're waiting for the NLT to become available on Cross Bible, we actually are going to have the Catholic edition NLT, so it's going to be complete with the Deuterocanonical books. That's coming. The Message Bible is coming. A new formatted King James authorized version is coming for all my King James fans out there. And yeah, it's just amazing. It's amazing now that I've recognized, yes, there is an audience, there is a market, there are Bible nerds out there that resonate with this platform and resonate with the mission to boost Bible engagement, not simply Bible access. This isn't just Bible access. It is a Bible study platform for people to engage with Scripture, take notes, highlight, bookmark, use your dashboard, really dig in there so that your experience is customized and your experience is personal, and you have your favorite Bibles and you can stack multiple versions. It's great. It's everything that I dreamed it would be, at least at this stage. This is everything's going according to plan, but we have a long roadmap, and I invite you all to please make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, drop a like on this video. At the very least, register on Cross Bible, sign up for free. Use our resources for free. We cover that cost, and if you can afford a subscription, please consider signing up at least for the basic plan, $5 a month. If you can afford the standard tier at $10 or even the patron tier at $20, we're going to be providing more and more value to all of you out there. So thank you very much. Thank God. Thank everyone for supporting us, and stay tuned for more, because we've got a lot of amazing things coming.